All right, guys, today we want to go over some kind of nuances, details of exercise performance with the ARX machine. So again, ARX stands for adaptive resistance exercise. So we always try to remind people is it's adapting to you. So kind of a joke that a lot of times we'll say is like, if someone tells us that it's really, really hard, or you're making it hard as a coach, we'll say, no, you're making it hard because you're really in control of how much effort you give. The beauty of the ARX is it does give you the opportunity to give a full maximum effort throughout every second of the exercise, whether it be full range of movement or in an isometric static contraction. So that is the potential it has. It doesn't mean that you have to give that effort, but then over time, we want to be able to increase that. Both the effort and the amount of force you're creating. That's how we basically it's obviously a great training tool, but also what we're using for a big part of our quantification, especially when it comes to strength. So quarterly, we do a quarterly check-in. If you're able to do so, you don't have any limitations. We'll do both a 5-rep effort with a rest pause, and then we'll do an isometric static for 45 seconds with the big 3 exercises of chest press, row, and leg press. And then this month, we're also working to create some standards, just give you some goals and things of that nature to help motivate you and inspire you to even be a better version of yourself, okay? So today, and part of that standardization of it is we want to be consistent with our technique, to be safe and then also to be effective. One of the things, one of our primary focuses we try to encourage people to think about with our exercise approach is that our primary objective of the exercise is simply to stimulate the muscle, okay? It's not just to move the weight, or in the case of ARX, just to make the numbers go up. That's critical for this, because if we don't understand that, then we will try to find ways to create more leverage, which actually de-stresses the muscle, and allows the force to go up, but we're not working the muscle as much. So that's really what we want to go over this today. And also, when you do that, oftentimes that also makes the exercise more stressful to the joint, okay? So the exercise we're going to go over today is the chest press. And so I have Kevin setting up here. We're going to start with just setting up his position. So he's going to grip the handle, and this is important too, that we're consistent with where we're gripping the handle each time. If I move my hands up or down, it changes my leverage. So I want to be consistent in how I'm gripping the handle. So as I move Kevin into his start position, he's going to grip the handle. He's going to try to maintain, very important as far as stress on the wrist, he's pushing through the heel of the palm, driving through this bone into his elbow, so his wrist is neutral. If he flexes his wrist, now the weakest joint is going to be the wrist. So you're going to feel that more in the wrist. So you want to try to set up where you're driving. You really don't need to grip so much as you're driving through the heel of the palm. And then notice his elbow is directly behind his wrist. If his elbows are out, or his elbows are too far in, now he's out of alignment, and he's not, going to be safe, and he's not going to be as effective at doing the movement. The main critical component of this is also packing the shoulders. So the shoulders stay down, and he's going to wedge himself between the handles here and the seat through his upper back and shoulders, okay? Notice also his head stays back. He's not crunching forward into the movement, okay? So now that's his start position. So we've got his elbow about 9 degrees. His arm is slightly behind his midline. And then he's able to keep his shoulders down. If we took him too far back, his shoulders will start to elevate automatically. So we're going to make sure we get him in a good setup position there. So that's going to be his start position. And then we're going to take him out.
You need to slow it down.
All right. So this is his end position, okay? So if Kevin, so we want for this ideally, we don't want to be in a locked out position, okay? But it's going to be close. So when he finishes the movement, he's going to pack the shoulder. So if he presses into it, he packs his shoulder, he drives back. Notice his elbow is not locked, okay? But if he tries to create more leverage, okay, he can easily lock his elbow by doing what? Shrugging his shoulder up, okay? That's what we want to avoid in the movement. So as he moves out, he has to, and he starts to come back, he has to allow the elbow to flex, okay, in order to keep the shoulder packed. If he tries to lock the elbow as he goes back, that's what's going to happen, okay? So that's no longer stressing the pectorals and shoulders and triceps the way we want to. It's basically just leveraging a straight arm into the shoulder joint, which can also cause impingement of the shoulder. So we want to avoid that, right? So you have to overcome the focus of just making the number go up to stay engaged in the proper muscles in order to be consistent with the movement, okay? So now he's going to have Kevin do just 3 reps. He's not going to go maximum effort today because we just trained yesterday, but he's just going to demonstrate that, right? So we're going to start the movement. He's going to make sure he continues to breathe through the movement, not holding his breath. He's going to start engaging just before it starts to move. So in about 2 seconds, he'll start building up some tension, start packing the shoulders, pressing out. Notice his shoulders stay packed. And then in range, he's still contracting, he's still engaging, and as he's resisting, he's allowing the elbow to bend as he keeps his shoulders down and back. And now he's going to ease off, recover, reset his shoulders down and back, starting the next rep. He's going to squeeze into that isometric. He's not letting off. Resisting. Release. And as he doesn't move his hands, he just stays there, getting prepared for the next rep. Last one. Good job. All right, so that's just a good demonstration of how to perform the ARX chest press. So try to bear that in mind, and we'll continue to work with you on that as we move forward.